So here we have a 2021 Ford Bronco, and this one comes in the Badlands trim level. The color is going to be shadow black, and then the interior consists of the black onyx vinyl. And our powertrain on this Bronco is going to be a 2.7 liter turbocharged V6 engine, made into a 10-speed automatic transmission. And of course, these have been hard to come by, so I'm glad I finally get to review one. And I actually like it a lot better in person. But there's the front end there. The lights do not blink. That's just the camera. We have LED daytime running lights, LED headlamps. And I really just love the stance on this thing. Really good looking vehicle here. Let's check out these wheels and tires. The wheels are going to be 17-inch aluminum. I think these are 32s or 35s. We get passive keyless entry on the front two doors along with the passcode. And then we have the controls for our power door locks. We have a small little pocket in here. And then we have headlamp controls. And this is for our electronic parking brake. You just pull on that and then press it down to disengage. We can open the hood latch there. And there we have our driver's seat. And I really love how the vinyl looks so good. It really does look like leather. And it just feels, you can just feel the vinyl, that's the only thing. But the vinyl actually feels really nice. It doesn't feel like cheap work truck vinyl at all. Let's check out this leg room here. So I have the seat in front of me adjust for someone of my size, 6'3". And my knees are just kind of jarring the back here, but I can fit. It's just not comfortable at all. And then we have one-touch automatic windows back here, which is really nice. And then we have a USB-C, USB-A charging port, and then a 110 volt 3-prong household plug-in. I'll just zoom in a little bit so y'all can see that. Have a little glare from the sun. But there's a quick look at the front from back here. And there we have the soft top, and that'll fold, which is hard to do. It's hard to demonstrate, I should say, with one hand. But we do have small pockets behind the seats back here too. But next, let's go ahead and check out the back. So there's our fuel filler there. As we come around to the back here, really like how they kept that kind of old school Bronco look, even with these LED tail lights. Still looks really, really good. And I love that exhaust. I don't know if that's stock or not. It looks incredible though. It sounds really good too on the inside. And of course we can fold the top up from the back side. You gotta be kidding me. But you can fold the top up, backside here, as well as the front, if you want to have that kind of open air feel. And then I guess it's a lock box or something. I don't even know how you open it. I think it has a key, but interesting. And then coming around to the front passenger side, there's that seat there. And I think if you go up to like the Wild Track or Sasquatch, I'm still learning the trim levels, but you go up to those higher trim levels, you can get power seats. But I really like this Badlands. It's kind of a middle of the road trim level. You get all the cool stuff, kind of all the nostalgic stuff without getting too high tech. Let's check out that engine bay. And there's a 2.7 liter turbocharged V6. If you look down in there, there's a turbo. But now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So really, really nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Just love the overall feel of it. It feels really, really expensive. Good grip and everything. And then we have our differential controls up here. If you want to do any of that off-road stuff, which I don't tend to do. But down here we have the infotainment screen. Really nice picture. Of course, since Ford has been putting these out the last few years, they've just really grown on me, really responsive. I know in my Mach-E it gets a little buggy with the Bluetooth, but other than that, it's really no complaints about it at all. There's a nav, we get AM, FM, XM radio, and then we get Bluetooth audio, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. There's our backup camera with the 360 view. Then we have our features here. And I really like that you can kind of go through what shows up on this right side. I actually like wow, that's quite a lot on here. It's my favorite view right there, the fuel economy. And then we have dual zone automatic climate controls here, 3-stage heated seats for the front, and then that heated steering wheel toggle there. And then we can toggle our parking sensors, auto stop, and then we can also just toggle that camera really quickly, push of a button. Then we can adjust fan speed here, temperature there, and then we can set the auto there. And then down here we have a USB-C, USB-A input, and a pretty decent sized wireless charging pad here. Now to shift the 10-speed automatic, we have the shifter here as a button behind, pull down, reverse, neutral, drive, and then manual mode, and you can shift manually here. And it'll show you on the RPM gauge. So I think it's pretty neat as you shift through. And then we have our 4-wheel drive controls here. You can set it to 4-wheel automatic mode, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low. And then your actual drive modes, you can toggle through here. And then you'll see how many modes there are. We have eco, normal, slippery, mud rut, sand, Baja, rock crawl. And then with all 4 of the windows being automatic, we can control them from up here and then lock them in the back if we want to do that too. And then to work our power mirrors, you have to hit a button here, and then you just kind of go through the motions to adjust it. Same for the right side. And we have a small center console cubby space here with a removable sliding tray. But it's somewhat deep in there. It's like a black hole, but like I said, we can adjust where we want the tray to go, so I like that. And then to actually get the top up, you have to pull down here on either side, and then you can pop it up. Like I said, it's quite difficult, and this one's actually really hard to, well, it was hard to put back in earlier, but it goes about halfway through the second row, folds all the way back. I like how they kind of threw the Bronco logo here. And there's our glove compartment, which is actually a really good size for this kind of vehicle. Back over here to the steering wheel, we do have the Ford Copilot 2.0, I believe. So we have the lane keep system, gap adjust for the adaptive cruise, and then we have volume controls, regular cruise controls here. Then to the right side, we have Bluetooth voice recognition controls, and then we can use this little toggle here, and then the arrows here to go through the digital part of the gauge cluster. Which, of course, the picture is really good. And there's our push button start. We have windshield wiper controls here. This is for the back wiper here. And of course, high beams, blinker. And finally, here's our key fob with remote start. And I believe this is the key to that box in the back. But now I'm really excited to go ahead and take this 21 Bronco Badlands out on the road for a quick test drive. So I love the pull from this Bronco. Super, super cool. And there's the auto stop there. So I'm really impressed with the overall power of the Bronco, and actually just how easy it is to maneuver. And in my opinion, it rides a lot better than a Jeep does. But probably the best thing about this is going to be that 2.7 liter EcoBoost. Made it with this 10-speed. That's really what would help me get this over the Wrangler. Just how much more fun this is to drive. And the 2-liter turbo is okay. I mean, it's a good setup in that Wrangler. Still feels fast, but this just feels like a monster. And this isn't even the biggest engine you can get in these. We'll pull just a little bit. Yeah, I love that. Very, very impressed. Now, as you can probably hear, wind noise is not going to be this Bronco's strong suit by any means. And I will say, I feel like the Wrangler has this beat by quite a bit. But if you're getting one of these, you probably don't care about that, and you're expecting that anyway. But quite loud in the cabin. We're getting decent fuel economy, probably about 18, 20 miles per gallon, just cruising. So not bad at all. And there's the auto stop again. Now I have the Bronco in eco mode now, and it's just a little quicker to shift into the higher gears to save on that fuel economy any way it can. And I think that's really where the 10-speed shines. Didn't notice a sport mode in here, but this eco mode is pretty nice. Now the ride quality for the most part is good for this kind of vehicle. Of course, it's not smooth by any means. I mean, we have off-road tires on in an off-road vehicle, but still pretty tame over a lot of other vehicles in this segment that I've driven. And like I said, the wind noise is definitely not its strong suit, but nothing the radio can't tune out, I'm sure. Especially since this one has the B&O sound system, which I forgot to touch on. And then I have heard mixed reviews. I want to test it out eventually, the B&O system in this, because I know they complain about them in the Mach-E, and I assume they're pretty similar. But if I was in the market for something like this, I probably would choose this over the Wrangler. And like I said, the only downfall that it has against the Wrangler that I noticed is going to be the wind noise with the soft top. I rented a Wrangler a few months ago, and I was quite surprised with how good the sound acoustics were with that top up. But I mean, the technology in here is pretty neck and neck with the Wrangler. Obviously, adaptive cruise with the lane keeping system is going to be, I feel like, better in Ford as opposed to Chrysler. But it really just depends on preference, and the Bronco definitely has it on the looks, I think. And that'll bring me to the end of my review of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands.